Boy, would you believe me if I said I had technical issues? Did we already crash? We might have. What is this telling me? You can't open what? Okay, fuck you. OBS. I'm so sick of technology right now. Goodness gracious. I'm so sorry for being late. I know you guys are probably making fun. I don't even know what's going on in the chat. There may not be anyone in the chat. It is it's now Saturday. Yeah, man, just turned Saturday, at least here in the Texas region. Let's see if we're live. Are we live? Apologies if you hear the audio twice or weird, because for some reason it's not coming through my sound card. Yeah, we are live. Golly, and there's a lot of comments. Fuck you with the stereotype thing. It's you know what it is, man. Technology does not get along with me. I have a lot of it, but it does not get along. So I had all sorts of technical issues. I don't know what's going on with my sound card. But just right before, I couldn't hear no audio was being produced. When I say my sound card, I should say my audio interface. It just stopped working. And so for whatever reason, it's working for my microphone, but it's not working for the audio I hear. So the audio you might be hearing from the game, hopefully you're hearing the game audio. But also it's coming from the TV. It's not coming from the fucking interface. I don't understand how it's working that way. But if I sound good, well, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yes, I had a bunch of technical issues with the audio, and then I tried to get another game going. I didn't want to play Streets of Rage because that's like the game I always fucking play. I tried to get another game going, another old school game. This is technically a new game, so that's why it's a little easier to run. But I tried to get an old school game going, did not work. And then I had to restart my computer. It went into this fucking loop, and that took because it's trying to update itself, but it won't accept the update, and I don't know how to fix that. Whatever the fuck. So I basically, long and short, had a bunch of technical issues. You guys are still here. I appreciate. And then times I'm on time or early, no one's here. It doesn't matter. I appreciate it. Vigilante Williamson here on the 60th episode of my show, VW Casual. It is now November 26th, Saturday, November 26th. And no longer why does it have to be Black Friday? Apparently Black Friday was like something, this is what I heard back in the day. Like it took retail stores in the black just this one day would offset them. But that didn't make sense, because it's like you're telling me you operate the whole year, you know what I'm saying, in the red, and then just one day offsets and puts it in the black. That doesn't make sense. That's for red being negative, being in the black is in the positive for those who don't understand the terms. You guys talk about technology, old cars, all sorts of cool stuff. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna play some games, talk some stuff. I don't have anything heavy to talk about. Nothing real heavy to talk about. Let's actually get the game going. I may actually also get some turtles going. Whatever. Looks like the newer games are gonna run a little bit better than the older stuff. So there's the whatever. All right. Finally, good old survival mode. There's only any difference in what I am playing. And actually, let me go back, because I'm playing with my Sega emulator controller. So okay. Sorry. All right. Hopefully this makes sense when I actually start playing. The time, oh, is it the time between Black Friday and Christmas? So it's not just Black Friday itself. Okay. So I had that wrong. But I definitely think it generates a lot of money. And I definitely know, I mean, just from being in retail. That was the thing, like I heard it in retail. But a lot was made like about the day itself. But I definitely can believe between the time of Black Friday and Christmas, I can definitely see, let's get a different outfit. I'm going blue. I definitely think that month or so generates a lot of money. A lot of money. Not a lot of good deals, though, man. I don't know about you guys. I didn't really see too many cool deals. It's not really the case anymore. Most people shop online. Don't leave it to the end of the year. Man, I buy so much stuff with that damn Scamazon, man. I give them so much of my dispensable income, man. It's disgusting. I hate that company, but I give them all my money. Just give them all my money. Because they have so much stuff. They have every goddamn thing. And they don't be, and it's not like, because like I was like, oh, I'm not doing any Black Friday shopping. I just did my normal Scamazon, every check, spending a little bit on bullshit shopping. And there's always a couple cool little deals, I guess. It's not, man, I remember back in the days, like the 2010 to 2013 Scamazon. I'm still got to get used to these controls. But back in those days, man, there was a lot of like really good deals for Cyber Monday and Black Friday. And this is before you needed Prime to get good shipping. Because even living in the middle of nowhere, Michigan, I was getting stuff. I mean, it's a little bit outside Detroit. But I was getting, well, a lot of it, honestly. I was getting stuff for pretty good, like a couple days max, and then all of a sudden when they introduced Prime, stuff started taking a while. But yeah, they had way better deals back then as well. I'll take that. They're way better deals. Pretty good deals at the dispensary. That's the day before Thanksgiving. Use a good consumer Vig. Steam has some cool stuff. I need to check that out. And I can't remember who it was complaining about Miles Morales. The pricing on that. Yeah, you're right. They want $45 for that fucking thing. Goodness gracious, bro. That game is not new. It's not a full game. Charge $30. Which is still probably too fucking much. But okay, $30. You want $30? Same. Me and my brothers also. Shout out to Bro Jelani. He did some cooking. But we were talking about Gotham Knights. That game should have been cheaper. They would have made more money and not had as negative backlash if they did charge $30, $40 for the game instead of trying to charge a full $60. And these greedy companies, man. Okay. $20 for 10 hours of gameplay. Yeah, my brother says $1 per hour, which I think is or close to it. If you can get close to it, use a good consumer. So yeah, Steam has some stuff on sale. Not much of interest though. Okay. I might check it out. I need new games for this, man. I play a lot of this. And I could do it all day. That's what she said, and that's what Captain America said, somewhat, to paraphrase. But I'm like, I need some more stuff to just play for streams. I tried to do some of the retro stuff. I was trying to do something different. I'm going to play an old soccer game like FIFA from the Genesis. I'm like, you know, that'd be interesting because Genesis supposedly had really good sports games. It'd be nice to play a retro sports game. I mean, I can always get, like, you know, the Steam has stuff like that. There's like a Tecmo Bowl retro thing. Or did they just, was it Tecmo Bowl? It was something. I can get stuff like that. So, I mean, maybe that's why I need to just peruse the indie game market, because the Steam stuff seems to have a better rate at running than, you know, I finally got my stuff situated with a lot of that simulator stuff, as we say. But I'm still having a lot of issues getting stuff to run consistently. So it looks like Steam is the way to go just for practicality purposes. Consume, obey. Mostly old games on sale, which isn't different. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, that's another thing I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of sales that you normally would see. I'm not rich enough to get the jar weed. I get the pouches. Shout out to, I just found out my dope dealer's a younger guy, so I'm corrupting the youth. But I mean, he's a good proprietor, man. I hope he's becomes economically, you know, positive as the days go on, man. He does good work. I'm thinking about raising my prices because everyone's so annoying around Christmas. Hey, if you can tax, you should tax, man. You gotta, you know, yesterday's price is not today's price. And you have to understand market demand. So if the demand goes up, you know, understandably the price goes up. So you're a proprietor. You have to pass on realistic costs on to your customers when necessary. So I get trying to be that guy and, you know, be everyone's homie. You seem like a cool bloke. Yeah, he's a business decision, man. We want all proprietors to be doing well, man. Yeah, do it. You gotta, you know, don't tax everyone out of control. If there's some homeboys, you can continue to give them the homeboy hookup and all that. But if you gotta make your money, you gotta make your money, man. Oh shit. Oh shit. It's a tax, man. Tis the season to be jolly, man. But I get it. Sometimes, you know, you might do that. You might lose people. So I get that, you know. Don't just listen to a bunch of idiots on the internet. Fuck up your business, man. But if you gotta do it, you gotta do it, man. Uh-oh. I was having some controller issues. Big corporations, you know, we gotta have all small businesses gotta think like that too, man. It's to be said with balance, because, you know, that's how it goes. Honestly, even my guys give me a little tax because of demand. I mean, the prices were, but I mean, I'm getting some solid stuff too. He just is not. He's not offering as much mid-grade stuff. So I'm just like, all right, well, if you're not gonna offer mid-grade, I'll get this upper mid shit. And it's hitting though. So I'm not knocking. He even tossed me some shake the other day that was hitting. So it's what it is. I you know, when the mid grade shit went away, I just said fuck it. You know what I mean? Just start paying for the upper grade shit. I probably should have just been doing it from the jump, because it feels like it lasts a lot longer. Like, I want to say lasts a lot longer. When I get upper grades, I know we're talking and whatever. It's legal in a lot of places. So fuck it. You know, we're not trying to get indicted allegedly, whatever. But when I get this upper grade stuff, I'll be honest, it goes longer. I can easily get to the, you know, I was going through the mid-grade stuff quick, bro. So it's really worth it to be a thou wow, from my perspective, from a smoker's perspective. So, I mean, as long as quality doesn't dip, you can raise the prices. That's, you know what I'm saying? As long as quality doesn't dip, or if you can somehow Cause I don't know if you're the grower or whatever, or if you have one or how that works. I'm not trying to, you ain't gotta tell me. Whatever the case is, like if somehow you can get an upper quality and just charge them a little bit more plus, you know what I mean? You extra tax them, so like, okay, I don't know what the price is out there. Let's say you're doing $250 for the zip. That seems like a standard, right? And it's like, all right, I'm gonna charge you. Let's say you really should be doing $260 for the stuff instead, and then you charge them $275. So, where you're taxing on top of a tax, but if the quality went up, they'll pay it. Regulars will get the same. Not gonna mark it up for the non-regular. That's also cool. That's probably the smoothest way to do it. Especially, I'm just a friend. Well, you say I'm just a friend. Like Biz Marquis said. If you don't that's nothing. If you're not stepped on, if you're not, I'm hearing that what they doing, getting the CBD flower and spraying it. I'm hearing that shit. Hell Kai. You gotta know your customer base. I think that's probably the smoothest way. Especially if you're going to get a lot of non-regulars for the Christmas season, which I'd imagine you probably are. That's probably the smoothest way. So that way, the homeboys still, because the homeboys are consistent. Well, if I am a customer and you have good stuff, I'm going to be there consistently. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a certain rapport you gotta have with your guy that I have to have, man. It just seems like no matter where I go, that's what ends up happening, man. Because I can't just, oh shit, I'm about to die. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'll just spam this because I don't want to die. No. Oh, you're just a friend or a friend of a friend? Oh, you're just a friend of a friend. You get the friend of a friend price. Yeah, man. Sorry, man. Yes! That was rough. Is there any health? And a friend of a friend, price is full price, man. That's how it goes sometimes, man. That's how it's going for me. You want this shit or not? I got the fucking Ultimate Warrior. It's hitting me with backbreakers and shit. I just fucking start whooping on him with a fucking pipe. A lead pipe. Shit, keep hitting the wrong buttons. Yes, and it's Jim Hellwig. That's you know what? Funny story about that. Similar to Prince, and now we have Kanye doing it with his name's Ye. He changed his name to Warrior for legal reasons. So even his wife to this day is known as Dana Warrior. Because he was before he joined the WWE, he was the Dingo Warrior. But they own the Ultimate Warrior, so he just changed his name to Warrior so he can go to events as Warrior and just kind of clear up some of the legal stuff he was having. And similarly, Ye, because even though his birth name is Kanye West, but a lot of the iconography and a lot of the logos and a lot of stuff that trademarks are Universal because of him signing the contract. So yeah, he can still always be Kanye West, but certain brand things, just, even the Yeezy stuff is gonna be trademarked. I'm not sure how the deal was, but certain elements of his stuff he doesn't own his own trademark, so he changed his name to Ye. Similar to Prince changed his name to a symbol. His name's actually Prince Rogers Nelson, but Warner Brothers owned so much of his iconography and it had so much stuff trademark. He changed his stuff into a symbol, so he could. And then once the contract for their ownership was up, he changed his name back to Prince. So as wacky as some of that stuff sounds, sometimes there's like a legal reason for why they do it. If I'm being, yeah, man, that's how it has to go down as far as those prices. You gotta do what you gotta do, buddy. I'll fudge on that. I guess I'll take the wife. Good night. Yeah, he was into the Warrior persona. Yep, he's the Dingo Warrior team with Sting. Yep, were they Blade Runners? Yeah, but that just meant legally. So if you have a name outside of WWE, that's why to this day they'll try to change your name if you come in as a wrestler. Not everyone. Some people were able to use their names, but some people even couldn't use their real name. Kevin Steen became Kevin Owens. You know what I'm saying? So they still not always. But some people, obviously, CM Punk kept his name that he used outside of WWE. But the idea is, if you use the name WoW and you started with WWE, and that was the name you started with, they own it. But if you were that beforehand, you can still be it when you leave, because that means you came up with the trademark, unless another company owns it. Because that's what happened with the Dudley Boys. That was owned by ECW. The ECW got bought by WWE, and so then they still own it. So that situation like that can happen. And I'm not a trademark lawyer. I just just an entertainment idiot. So it's just a dude's been watching this shit for forever. So Blouses win. Talk about Prince. Prince. Shout out to Prince, man. But yeah, he was the Dingo Warrior. So yeah, there's lots of weird stuff. So when you see Ye, like, oh, he's Ye, what the? Yeah, it's good old trademark and intellectual property, whatever that means. You know what I mean? They license all characters. Very few wrestlers can take their name. Rock, Hulk Hogan. I think even I don't think he came up with that in WWE. I think he did that in the AWA, I believe. I may be wrong. Or even Florida or Tampa, where he's from. So I think he might have came up with that, because obviously his name is Terry Bollea. I don't know when he came up with Hulk Hogan. But for the other two, you're right. They were kind of allowed to use it outside of WWE. And I think, yeah, they're probably the only two. Well, Triple H a little bit too, because I think, remember that was it Blade 2 or Blade 3? I want to say it was Blade 3 he was in. And they credited him as Triple H. They'll let some people, like, for stuff like that. I think Kane, but no, I think that movie was them. See No Evil was their movie, so never mind with that. But I think they let Triple H do it too, or for appearances. But I guess he was still under contract with them, so maybe not. And then, like I said, when you talk about Roddy Piper, I know he was Roddy Piper before he came to WWE or WWF at the time. Same with Macho Man. A lot of them had already established that name outside of there. And just at the time, Vince wasn't as much of a stickler for that stuff as he became. Jesus, God, wrecking me. Named the Ball Mean Gene Okerlund. No, Hulk. Oh, so Hulk is a Vince Senior thing. Okay. I know, because he went back in the 70s, he went around a bunch. He went to AWA. He went to I think he even wrestled in the triple WWF? Or was WWF? He may not. But I know he went back to a bunch of territories, just like Andre went to a bunch of territories. I didn't know where he came up with Hulk. So Vince Sr. gave him Hulk. So you might be right. That's why he got the Irish name Hogan. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I didn't know, you know, the more you know. Yeah, I guess he would. Man, I'm surprised they let him. Damn it, I died. Like, if that was the case, because they let him go to WCW as Hulk Hogan. He used the red and yellow stuff gimmick. He used the whole gimmick, man. I'm surprised. Looking back, that goes back to some old conspiracy theory shit that the WCW, the whole thing was a work. That the NWO were actually sent for the exact purpose they said they were. That was a shoot. That they literally sent those guys over there to poison WCW and get rid of the competition over the long term, while making wrestling more popular and creating a war to generate more money in the long term for WWE. I don't know if that was true, if that theory is true. Let's do the weekly sim. But that is the theory. And if you're right, that gives a little bit more credence to that theory, because it's like, man, they let him go over with the entire Hulk Hogan gimmick at first, and then obviously he became Hollywood Hulk Hogan, but they still use Hulk and Hogan. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they changed it to, like, you know, Terry Hogan or some shit like that. You know, like, because you're telling me he let Hulk Hogan keep his name in a wrestling war, but wouldn't let, you know, all these Christian had to be, I mean, he was Christian Cage on the Indies, but you know what I'm saying? Everybody else had to do all these crazy things with their name. It's a great theory. Monday Night was a real war. I mean, I believe it, but some janky shit happened at the end. The fact that he was able to buy WCW for so little, something is up with that, and I don't know to what extent it is. And even ECW, I remember Tommy Dreamer, he doesn't say it now, but back in the day, he implied that ECW was already sold to Vince by the time, like, it, you know, it was already a Vince property. Like, it was never really, not never, but at some point, and remember there was a lot of crossover between ECW and what you call it, like, it seemed like they used ECW as their proto NXT. A lot of guys who had came from WCW, like Mick Foley and Stone Cold, went through ECW as a developmental at first. They had the little thing with Jerry Lawler. They had a lot of guys go even before ECW went out of business. Even though there's a lot of guys from ECW went to WCW, don't make no mistake. They both kind of used them as an NXT for real, because there's a lot of guys who obviously went to both sides. But apparently the rumor towards the end is Vince had already bought it. Like, so whatever date you think they bought it, he had already bought it 6-7 months before him. That's the alleged rumor with that. So I don't know. That's what Tommy Dreamer at one point was implying and alleging, because he said he had a group that wanted to buy ECW, and Paul basically wouldn't take their cause, and they were willing to purchase it for in the high 8 figures. I believe the number was 80 to 90 million, something like that, which I don't know if that's true. It could be Tommy Dreamer talking shit. That's also true. He's a wrestler there, Carney's. So, but he implied that, yeah, it was already, the reason he was sidelined because it already gotten sold to Vince. You know what, Vince Hogan got some targeted kids? Yeah, he does. Once the rights are given away, he can't take them back. But I mean, when he let the terms of whatever the ending of that contract is in the 90s, that he allowed him to use that likeness. Once he lets the cat out of the bag, it's too late. But that he allowed him to use that going into WCW was just like, crazy. He was tight. He also, at the same time, he like you said, he did have a high respect for the guys that made him there money. He let Macho Man go to WCW. There was some truth to the idea that he thought, you know what, these guys have had their day. You know what I'm saying? It's not the 80s anymore. I can't really afford them anymore. Plus, I'm trying to get rid of this steroid stuff. Let Ted Turner deal with the steroids allegations and shit. These motherfuckers can get out of here. There's definitely that. But I mean, he wasn't ruthless. I don't know if Vince would have did that 4 years later. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that as ruthless of a mindset back then. And I think there is some truth to him just being respectful of the people that made him money. Because he certainly didn't like Macho Man later. And there's rumors about why that may be. But he was cool. He even said, good luck to Macho Man on Raw. I'm one of the few guys you'll ever see him do that for. He was really respectful. Like, good luck, Randy, Because Macho Man also had injuries, too. So he just like, I don't want to, he didn't want to let him wrestle, basically. Because he had so many injuries. And it's like, again, he wanted to try to turn him into a commentator. Like, you can do other things, man. So when he said he wanted to go to WCW, he was like, yeah, go ahead. And I don't think he would have did that. I don't think he would have did that if he thought they could still draw money. So that was at least the wisdom was that's why he let him go. But I didn't know he owned the rights to Hulk Hogan because I knew Macho Man had already been Macho Man. I haven't even seen interviews of him in different organizations. Like we talked about the Dingo Warrior and all that other stuff. A lot of those guys, but not everyone. Big Boss Man, he was Big Bubba. What was it, Big Bubba Watson or some shit? Not Watson. Bubba Rogers. Big Bubba Rogers. So, and then he came, the Big Boss Man. Ted DiBiase was not the $1 Million Man before he came to WWF. So, he changed some people's stuff. Well, Ricky Steamboat, I forgot where he got that from. Yeah, he couldn't use the same music, so he didn't get everything, I guess. Okay. But still, even in that, maybe he just underestimated him and just say, I'm not going to trip over it. He wouldn't do that now. It's just crazy that he did it within then. I don't think, he didn't see WCW as a threat until they became one. And he realized, oh, no, I gave you power like Nas. Sheesh. Yeah, he did think Hulk was washed up. He had good reason to think he was washed up. So yeah. He had good reason to think he was washed up. It's just, I don't think the Vince, obviously, he's going through his legal stuff or not going through his legal stuff. He's just not there. I did not see the press secretary. You said she has a banging body? I did not see her. That's been the trend, is to get someone cute, just like what was the little blonde that the Orange Man had? To get someone cute as the press secretary. I know the Republicans were a huge fan of her. I can't think of her name. No, not Saki. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, you talking about as except, well, I mean, even people were talking about fucking Saki. Yeah, you finally heard KD3. That shit's a classic, man. That shit's incredible. Kaylee, that's what I'm thinking of. Saki. But yeah, people wanted to fuck the redhead, yeah. So even her. So yeah, is it a black chick? The new press secretary. You know I don't pay attention to politics like I used to. He changed almost every wrestler's name. So yeah, that's the thing. He's so much more ruthless about the licensing now that he let the like I said, he couldn't do shit with Macho Man, but for Hulk Hogan, he gave him the red and yellow. He gave him. Now I don't know if Hulk Hogan did any of these elements beforehand, but he gave him the whole thing. I had always assumed that Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan before then, but you make sense when you talk about Vince Sr. I wonder if it was an issue where Vince Sr. didn't trademark it. Maybe that was the issue. When Vince Sr. didn't trademark it back in the day, and then he left, and he was still Hulk Hogan, because he was Hulk Hogan in the AWA too. So maybe it's like, oh, well, you let him use that name outside, because that's the whole thing of who owns the trademark. It's like, okay, if you only trade with that name with one company, that means that company, and that company created it, then they have the trademark. So that's probably what it was, that Vince didn't, Vince Sr. made the mistake, and it was probably too complicated of a legal thing where it's like, okay, I'll just let him have it. Plus, I think dude's washed up anyway, so why even trip on it? And shit, Hogan was still relevant into the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So he totally missed, or as much as Hulk Hogan can be a crazy asshole, he's known for being such an asshole, but he was still relevant as far as a money draw into the 2000s. Even the TNA that he helped ruin, you know what I mean? When he first got there, the ratings were huge. The ratings were bigger than or at least on par with what WWE's doing now. Now, the products suffer long term, yeah. But as much shit as everyone wants to talk about Hogan, and I've talked about Hogan, and I will talk about Hogan, because he's a piece of shit, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of reasons to talk shit about Hogan. He's also been, one of the most important wrestling draws in history. And wrestling simply would not exist the way it is without him. There's just no debate. As much as the Ric Flairs and other individuals who also helped build up wrestling to where it is, Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race, and all that, Bruno Sammartino. Yeah, but just the truth is, Hulk Hogan was the guy that made wrestling an international thing. So I'm sorry if I'm missing you guys' comments. Yeah, the black chick, she's tight. She's got that struggle muscle. So I never heard that one. Uh-oh. Oh, shit, I'm dead. Let's see what some of your comments are. She got the struggle muscle. Steamboat's last match this Sunday. Wow. So he's doing a last match thing. Can you imagine Ric Flair and Steamboat, Ricky Steamboat, who had those great matches in the 80s, late 80s for NWA into the early WCW. That was 30 plus years ago. Where they were already in their late 30s, mid to late 30s then, and they are having their last matches in 2022. Crazy. Neither one of them, both of them should have retired a long time ago. But you're right. That's why Steve Austin was the ring master. But no, Steve Austin, he had that because he was Steve Austin in the USWA before he was even in the WCW. Because they didn't want, his real name is Steve Williams, but Dr. Death was always around. So he said Steve Austin, which you would think you might have some issue with a $6 million man, but whatever. Guess it didn't have it. But yeah, you're right. He was so savvy. But Hawk was a savvy business guy. I think the fact that Vince Sr. didn't trademark it probably had a lot to do with why Hawk got away with that name. Savage and Steamboat is probably the greatest match of all time in WrestleMania. One of them. There's been some real good ones. The real big to Hogan, came from Stallone using him to Rocky 3. He was in the AWA at that point, though. That was the AWA Hogan before he went back to WWF. But that crossover put him into a cultural ice. But I mean, he also was a pretty big wrestler. at the time too. That was why he was picked. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he wasn't as big as he was then because wrestling wasn't as big. You know what I'm saying? But he was a regional star. People knew of him, and like I said, the AWA, he was big. He was also big in Japan to that trademark, because that was another place he went a lot, was Japan. He had a different finisher in Japan. He used to do that short arm clothesline, the Axe Bomber. So he was a whole different character. We'll do one random sim, and then we'll probably switch games. I have this look as a casual. I don't really have much to talk about, so we're probably just gonna play games and talk shit to be a thou wow. We'll switch characters. No, you guys are gonna talk shit. Oh shit! Yeah, Streets of Rage 3 Axel. We'll fuck with her. Shit, everyone's big in Japan. I wish I was big in Japan, man. Shit. I'm just big in Texas, as in I'm big in Texas. I gotta do something about my weight. I got one of the many things I got from Amazon is a pull-up bar. Oh, it was a Big Joe. Oh, Big Joe. I didn't catch that. I thought it was a reference to, people used to say that shit. But ha. That's hey, stop Asian hate, since your dildo. Stop Asian hate. What the hell? What the hell? We're in a post-2020 world. Won't someone think of the children? Think of the children. No, actually, no, not in this crazy world. I still have not watched Ari Shafir's special. I know. I'll check it out, maybe. Hogan, of all wrestlers, launched the first. Yeah. Oh, he left because he couldn't do the Rocky film? Oh, man. But he had already been in the AWA before, because, again, a lot of those guys bounced around a bunch back then. I gotta check. I don't want to say this shit and be wrong. Because I believe you're telling, especially because some of it sounds familiar. Yes, he did. So he left because of it. But he had gone back and forth. Because I know, he had went to New Japan back in the day. He went to a lot of other places. So I don't know if he went back and forth. But I feel like he had multiple stints in both the AWA and WWF. Because there's a match between him and Andre when he's the bad guy in the WWE. Yeah, they all went back and forth. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Because there's a match between him and Andre in the early 80s, maybe 1980 itself, where he's in like the white trunks and he's the bad guy. Or like the whitish, almost like a tint to the colored trunks. Maybe a purplish tint. Yeah, before it was national, it was all territorial, yeah. They were actually independent contractors back then. Back then, they were legitimately independent contractors. They got, a lot of them would work even for multiple companies at the same time. That was not uncommon, especially if you were within the NWA and you were the champion. It was expected you were working for multiple companies because you got to go to different territories associated with the NWA. Help defend the belt, help, keep the brand going. So it was they were actually independent contractors. Now they kind of take advantage of that terminology to kind of rip a lot of guys off, which, to be honest, they're probably doing a better job than not WCW. But they're doing better at taking care of their people than UFC is, to be a thou wow. Because, there's nobody in a WWE contract. I mean, maybe some of the like low NXT guys that aren't on TV and are truly developmental, then maybe they're struggling. But from NXT TV on, you're doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're on the main roster, you're doing pretty good. Anti-Semitic autocorrect. Hey, even autocorrect is not gonna let you say certain things. What? Even autocorrect is not gonna let you say certain things. So it is what it is, man. Damn it. Yeah, it did sound rough. Like you said, a lot of guys sharing cars, sharing motels, sharing stuff. I mean, those were rough days. The people up top were making good money. Like if you were Dusty Rhodes, if you were Ric Flair, I mean, they were getting real good money. Especially some of the, like, they'll travel to like Japan. They'll travel to, like, I want to say, don't quote me on saying the Middle East, but they'll travel to certain areas and travel to Germany, make big money. But just if you were just a regular guy just on the road, man, it was a rough day. You know, that's why a lot of those guys was just so nuts, man. Especially, you know, if you were a WWF guy, which they did get paid pretty good, but like even in the early national days, she got me. Oh, Zeus, hey, dude, don't do. Yo, don't Papa Cotton is tripping. Don't do that. Don't do that. What's this free to N-word stuff? What's we will not accept on Black Friday all this anti-black right-wing pro-Trump rhetoric. We're not gonna accept it. Yeah, they're independent contract up until the Monday Night Wars. Yep, Eric Bischoff had the guaranteed contract. And that's why that is why talent left. Guaranteed contracts were a good thing, honestly. Guaranteed contracts were a good thing. The only thing is where we're seeing an issue, and it's going to be a bigger issue, is now we're in a digital age where, you know, when WWE made all those people get rid of their YouTube, get rid of their things, and only made sure it was approved by the company. To me, they overcrossed the boundaries as far as independent contractor, but nobody called them on it because they all wanted to keep their jobs. But if somebody wanted to sue them over that, I think they would have had the right to do it, and they would have made WWE push back. So is somebody going to come along that gets themselves an internet following enough that they're willing to sue WWE for it? I feel like over the course of the rest of history, you would think somebody would, right? NWA was a wrestling company before it was a rap group. Obviously not the same individuals involved with one NWA from another. Yeah, so the National Wrestling Alliance was the NWA I was talking about, not the Ninjas with Attitude. That's why Hogan hates them so much. Oh, Lord. No, that's not. Such a dildo. The ever clever, ever oppressive Eastoid such a dildo. Okay, let's try to find another game. Because, you know, I feel like I've overplayed this. I'm going to, first off, where's the controller? Hopefully this damn thing's charged. For me to charge it. Could go with Tekken. Could go with some classic Tekken, but I'm going to get whooped. I haven't played Tekken like that in a minute. Alrighty. Let's check Steam. See what I got and just see. And I don't want to do ink because I do that a lot too. How was everybody's holiday? Hogan said, brother, born any black wrestler. Oh boy. How was everybody's holiday? Those who are in the oppressive West, and in general, I guess if you're, you know, obviously you're not from the Americas, Thanksgiving doesn't really have as much relevance to you. Actually, I'm looking now on Steam. What do they have on sale? Cyberpunk's on sale. Red Dead Redemption's on sale. These are sales, but you feel like all these sales you'll see. These aren't Subnautica. There's nothing eye catching that's on sale. I must say, I bought one of these damn games, the Fallen Order, and still haven't played it. I'm just bad at that. I'm bad at consuming content. I'm good at buying shit, but just bad at using it. Mortal Kombat's on sale. Okay. I think I already have Among Us. Now I know you guys can't see this, but I'm just scrolling down. Like, you know what? Is there anything doxable? Doesn't seem like it because it just shows VigilanteWilliamson. We can look at some of the Steam sales together. Why not? I gotta make sure I click off in case I don't want to see email, credit card, all that good stuff. But there's nothing on sale on Steam, man. There's nothing that's you know what I mean? Like, okay, let's stop right now and buy. Maybe Red Dead, but I mean some of these sales are sales you'll see. Ask permission from Miss Salty to drop your link in the chat. If you get too big, I don't think you know what? All jokes, Papa Cotton, that was very nice of you. Because Salty doesn't know me from Adam. I know you've been the mod over there for a while. And you know, you're a cool contributor to this channel. I really appreciate that. There's feel no, as much as, you know, I say like, share, all that good stuff, feel no obligation. Shout out to Mrs. Salty if it is allowed. Shout out to anyone who comes over from the Salty Army. I hope they don't hate me. They're like, oh my God, he's just, you know, because I'm not, you know, I'm not as I'm in a place where I'm trying to get smoother as a person. Not the Witcher on sale. So I'm not as confrontational. I'm a little less confrontational. I'm trying to be a little bit smoother with this conspiracy theory stuff that I put forth, so it's a little more logical. I feel like I play the middle a little bit more than I used to, a lot of bit more. So I don't know if they'll like it. They'll say, okay, at least it's a challenge. At least it's an intelligent challenge. And I'm trying to at least consider the normie perspective a lot more, because normies don't know what the fuck is going on. Some do. But as you can see, this sale is nothing. Guilty Gear, it's only $10 off. Okay, I wanted to get Guilty Gear. This OG Halo, OG God of War, but it's like I could probably get it cheap for. Among Us I already have, but I didn't get through Steam. Did you guys see anything worth a damn? Because I don't. Oh, FIFA, yeah, right. Outside Red Dead Redemption, but again, I feel like that sale is not uncommon. Maybe that's a little lower. You wanted God of War Ragnarok's not gonna go on sale. They just came up with that. That's not going on sale. Shit, look at how much they want for the regular the God of War for 2018. They want and granted, I know the port was late. They just ported it over earlier this year. They still want $37 for a 4-year-old game. You know what I'm saying? They still want $30 for Cyberpunk, which I could rebuy, but I'm not about to. I already have GTA. Is that already detected? See, I already got GTA 5. That's a game I should play more of. You know, I've never played this backroom shit. It's obviously, you know, I've seen the memes. I've never played this shit. Dragon Ball, Xenoverse, Street Fighter, you know, for the fighting game guy. Oh God! Oh, look what Gotham Knights! Look at them. You know what? We were just talking about Gotham Knights should have launched at $35 fucking dollars. I know it's the holiday season, but it's 2 or 3 weeks later, and they're $35 fucking dollars. No shit. It's just over a month. It was released October 21st, and just over a month. Now, you motherfuckers, you should have launched at this price. This game should be a $35 game. But you were greedy motherfuckers, and now you got to tuck your tail between your legs and go with a Steam sale a month later for the price you should have charged off the rip. You stupid, greedy bastards. Way to fuck up the goodwill you had with Batman franchises and gaming. You dumb fucks. And then speaking of also ripoffs, Miles Morales, you want $50 for this? Are you out of your fucking mind? This is a DLC. Somebody was in my chat. I couldn't tell you who was. I don't know if it was Newbomb or somebody else talking about how they'll never pay for this and they shouldn't. What a ripoff. Forget the fact that it's not even really Spider-Man and all you guys did was change some of the swinging animations to make them look wackier or whatever the fuck. But you want $50? This game is like 2 or 3 years old itself. And you poured it over to Steam and you want me to give you $50? Now that's fucking disrespectful. That's fucking disrespectful, man. Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you came in on. Are you kidding? Some of these companies, man. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. But back to Papa Cotton. Again, thank you so much. Thanksgiving over Christmas, says Glenzer. Shout out to Glenzer. You get more food having to deal with the gift exchange. Yeah, all the expense and gifts. Oh, man, being raised Jehovah's Witnesses starting to come back as coming back in spades, man. Because a lot, some holidays we'll get stuff each other, but we're not living with each other. We're not always getting each other shit. Oh, what a burden to just be taking off. Sometimes it's still, okay, here's a gift card or some shit. So yeah, thank you, Papa Cotton. Ask permission for Mr. Salty to drop my link in the chat. And the restream, afraid if we get too big, the perfect chat room will be destroyed. It will be, unfortunately. Steam sales were the best 2 gens ago. So talking about PS3 and 360. Yeah. You should see. I can imagine what happens if you drop an anti-Republican comment. You're a natural troll too, so you like to smoke. The hardcore Trumpers are getting on my nerves. If you want me to, you said maybe the Kyle sip came from there. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, there's a lot of well-meaning people that are just as sheepy as the lefty wackadoos. Absolutely, and it's my job to let them know because. And remember, there's good, you know what? To quote your famous Orange Man, I know this quote got a lot of smoke at the time, but I'm starting to use it as a troll because it's true. There were good people on both sides. Dun dun dun. I know that everyone hates you when you say some shit like that, right? But no, there are people who are hardcore lefty, but they're really just sheep, and they just got shepherded to this side of the aisle because of whatever reasons. And then there's people who are hardcore righty and they're really just sheep. And they got shepherded to that side of the aisle. And they may not be bad people. They may not be bad humans. They're not inhumans. They don't grow, fangs and shit. But they just listen, this is why this politics stuff is dangerous. This is why I'm always telling you don't worship things in the flesh. We live in a society where there is no God, for whatever that's worth. Even people who aren't Judeo-Christian, we see people in the Muslim world. There was a lot of controversy about this guy who had an LGBTQ shirt getting kicked out of the World Cup, which I think was probably for his own safety. Jesus, man. I mean, at sporting events worldwide, your safety's at risk. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you are. So, because there's so many fights outside of stadiums here in America, there's so many fights. I know it happens everywhere. So you're wearing that shirt at the fucking World Cup in that part of the world, man. You got to go home so you don't get killed. But in any event, in places where there is a religious base, you don't see as much human worship, concept worship. And, people fight over these political figures as if it's like religious discussion or like your faith is challenged, because we're no longer a faith-based society. We no longer have that center of believing in a creator. You don't see. I'm not saying there's none, because in a lot of these places they're being westernized. Make no mistake. This wokeness, this evil, this Westology is being pushed everywhere. It's being pushed worldwide, but you'll still see some pushback because they believe there's something greater than themselves and greater than what is we all see around us. And so therefore the stuff that we see around us this day to day is not going to have the same weight. You're not going to be worshiping Trump or Biden or Bernie or AOC or Matt Walsh or, you know what I mean, Buy Patriot Supply or whoever the fuck, some political figure. You don't do that if you have a little, even if you're not perfect, even if you know what I'm saying? Just like there's people all over the world who believe in a religion, believe in a higher power, but you know, maybe they drink a little too much. Maybe they have some vices about them. I'm not saying you have to be a perfect person for this to be the case. But again, if you believe in a higher power, you have a tendency to not worship this bullshit. And we live in a world where it doesn't exist. And so now you have people who just go hard in the paint for their political party. And that's why. And they go hard in the paint for, you criticize Beyonce. Who? You do so at your peril, sir. Or ma'am. It's ma'am. You criticize some of these popular figures, or don't. Shit, I'm not a LeBron James fan, and I said something positive about him a year ago, and the people who hate LeBron will come after me, or the people who love LeBron will defend him. You know what I'm saying? There's usually multiple sides to this thing, but we live in a society in the West where everything's extreme because we don't believe in God. That's my theory, and I'm not the only one with that theory. I know I'm not the only one I'm sure I'm not the only person who you guys have heard say that, but I do believe that, man. Do believe that. RR says Republicrats can't take a little criticism. Yeah, a lot of people just can't. If you criticize their side, you must be a radical lefty with your blue hair and your Twitter, or now maybe it's radical righty with your My Patriot, your American flag dad hat in your Twitter. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, a lot of them are well-meaning good people. Yeah, we already said that. It's Putin's fault, says Cinch Dildo. For real, Wook. Yeah, Trumpomaniacs can be. Trumpomania is gonna run wild on you. Our Trumpomaniacs can be annoying. Absolutely. Neither side can take criticism. It blows my mind. Again, you're attacking their guys. I need $50 to make you holler. I get paid to do the wild thing, says Glizzer. That's why I started avoiding them, says Cinch Dildo. They're all a bunch of lames. Yeah, it's a cult mindset. All right, absolutely. Loyal to a fault. I'm in the duration for the Salty Army. No worries. Cause Salty, I don't listen to Salty Cracker, but anyone who's going against the narrative, even if it's for, you know, the conservatives. I call them conservatives. I call them Republicans, or somebody say Republicans, which I like. It is what it is. Tribalism is what it is. Proper Cotton says I'm not entirely against tribalism. Ooh. I can understand that. Still watch Matt after all. Hell, LOL. Yeah, shout out to Matt. He didn't do the MF for tonight. Politics have replaced faith. Everything ends up serving something. Yeah, politics has definitely replaced faith. Entertainment has replaced faith. A lot of these things replace faith. That's why we have this. That's why we're so divided now. People that need to be told right from wrong worry me. Well, I got news for you. Most people on this earth do. Most people on this earth do on some level, because again, even if you, and if I remember correctly, you're not a guy who you're not a God guy. That's fair. You don't have to be. But you got to admit, there's people, you know, there's people who, in the absence of that, will need, okay, there's no God telling you what to do. Well, now people are listening to CNN like it's God. You may not be one of those people. I get it. Okay, it's not me. I can do it. I can be, you know, self-motivated. I can understand right from wrong. I can understand this stuff on my own and Good for you. I'm not saying that's not you. I'm not saying, cool. Some people are self-actualized and can do that, but there's a good majority of people that just aren't, which is why we've gone through what we've gone through in the recent past couple years, obviously being the highlighted, the things getting to a fever pitch. But that's why this quote-unquote culture war is what it is, because you have people who, on both sides, no matter how well-meaning they may or may not be, they need some other power higher than themselves to direct them. And instead of going with the Most High, and rather you believe in the Most High's existence, rather you believe it just to be a fable, in lieu of having that, we are seeing a huge majority of people place something else in that stead. You know what I'm saying? You can criticize those people, and that's fair too, but people are placing something else in its stead. Politics replace faith, but the other underlying herd psychology remains true. There will always be people who try to exploit that. If religion was still dominant, they'd instigate religious wars to gain power. Very true. Very true and very legitimate. I mean, because we've seen that throughout history, have we not? We've seen that throughout history, have we not? Everyone has a vice. If you can't tell what it is, it's a bad one. That's sometimes true. Kai has to do his show. Check out Kai's show. Shout out to Kai MFS. He's the man doing he does a dope show. Everyone ends up serving something. So yeah, that was a different conversation. Let me actually go into my Steam library. What games do I have? I obviously have Arkham. I have Cuphead. I got Final Fantasy VII. I got Remake. I forgot about Remake. I haven't played Remake in a while. I haven't played Remake. Do I have Multiverses? Maybe I do. Skullgirls. Oh no, do I have Skullgirls? I don't. Let me install Skullgirls. Tekken. We can just go with Shredder's Revenge and keep it simple. We can just keep it simple. For all technological advances, we remain human beings. All that baggage that comes with human nature. Absolutely. And hey, knowledge of human psychology and knowledge of human nature does not make you immune to it either. So because we know these things, I'll never think that I'm smarter than... Clearly, I can get caught up in the group psychology just like anybody else. So this is... it is what it is. It's something to be watchful for. And you got to use whatever tools you need and tools you have to better yourself through the process, so you don't find yourself at the mercy of some cult and some group. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's play some Turtles. It's Turtle time. We'll play some Turtles, and then how long have we been going? Oh, we already put in an hour. Wow. Already put in an hour. So, all right. We'll play this for a little bit. Talk a little bit more stuff. Do what we do. And again, thank you, Papa Cotton. If you have been posting my link, you post my link. If anyone comes over to the Salty Army, hopefully you like what you see. If you disagree, feel free to let me know in the chat and in the comments, because we are not an echo chamber. At least we aim not to be an echo chamber. We aim to what's arcade? Play arcade. I'm gonna play chill though. Oh man.
Select your hero. Let's bust some crime.
So this is arcade mode. We'll see if we can beat it on chill. Not sure. We may be able to send mean tweets while on the toilet, but our unconscious is still hunting and gathering. Very true. Essential dildo. Very elegant way of putting it. Okay, we don't actually need the story elements, I don't think.
Jaw-breaking news.
Oh man, my back is just. Hell. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the controls. Oh, allergies. Sorry, guys. My sinuses and allergies or whatever the hell starting to fight back. Sorry. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Okay. Jeez, my sinuses are killing me. All right. Let me read RR's comment and then get back to the game. As again, my allergies or sinuses are just going crazy. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to go. The ancient Greek epic poems and dramas were guides into human psychology. We've actually devolved in our understanding of our nature as technology has advanced. We ignore the lessons of the past. Yeah, that's very true, RR. There's nothing new under the sun. Life is cyclical. Hell, even there's a lot of LGBTQ, this, that, and the third. Any historian will tell you this is not the first time there was a huge push for that societal. It was towards the end of Rome. So nothing's new under the sun. The Bible tells you nothing new is new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Every book of ancient. That's why these ancient books have some meaning. You know what I'm saying? They were written thousands and thousands of years ago, but they're still true about human nature, man. They still give you insight into human nature. So I believe in the Most High. I believe in Jesus Christ. Everyone doesn't. I'm not perfect with that quote unquote belief. And I definitely do not. I wish I was better at adhering to everything, adhering to the statutes and commandments. I do the best I can. You know what I mean? I've cursed a lot. Smoke, which it didn't tell you not to smoke. Just tells you not to be a drunkard. So I guess my thought is if I can keep that balanced to some. It also tells you to be sober and vigilant. I put vigilante in the name. Don't know if that helps. All you can do is the best you can. You're a human being, and that's it. Stuck in a loop of creation and destruction. Yeah. Yeah, we do. I mean, we are stuck in a loop of creation and destruction. I mean, there's that obvious quote, and you guys can correct me on who said it, but strong men create good times create weak men create bad times create strong men create good times. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a real thing. So, yeah, it is what it is. Again, sorry for the silence. Having a weird thing with the sciences. See, and obviously I'm playing this on an easier level, so some of the traps that I'm expecting aren't there. So that's the thing. And hopefully this boss battle is not too challenging. We'll see. Uh-oh.
bucket. Batter up, scuzz bucket.
We had the one. I gotta concentrate on this a little bit more than Streets of Rage. Mainly because Streets of Rage is so straightforward, and I just play it so much more. It seems to be the way of life. You cannot have life without death. Yin and yang, alpha, omega. We be wise to just be patient with one another and do the best to get along. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all you really can do. So, I mean, if there's people who come in who, you know, which, hey, I don't expect, you know, 15,000 people to sub just because Wookie tosses the link a couple times in the chat. Maybe, you know, 10 or 15 people show up. You know what I'm saying? One or two actually stick around. If that's what it is, that's what it is. That's what I expect at best, because that's just how it goes, and that's all you can expect, and there's no shame in that, and I would appreciate that. Which Bill Hicks quote? Ask how I want my rib back. Is that the one you're talking about? Because that's a funny one. Bill Hicks was a funny guy before he became Alex Jones. Funny guy.
Big Apple, 3 p.m.
No, I'm just not talking because I don't really know what to talk about. I kind of want to reset that. Spoke a little bit about the World Cup. Is it going over in Qatar? It's going on in Qatar. I know it's going to be in the Houston area. The next time, I believe, there's a World Cup after this. I believe it's going to be in the Houston area. So that'll be cool if I'm still here, which I plan to be in, but who knows what the future holds. But in any event, like I mentioned, there was a guy who had a LGBTQ shirt, and the security didn't let him in. And as I said, man, I felt like that was as much. Yeah, there was a custom thing, but I think he was looking out for the guy, man. I don't think he would have made it out of that stadium if he would have went in that stadium with that shirt. Maybe I'm wrong. I just know, like I said, there's just so much violence at these sports in general. I'm not saying soccer because Lord knows these fucking fights that happen outside stadiums, at football, baseball, and that everyone knows, you know, I'm a Detroiter. So that malice of the palace happened in the fucking game at the NBA. So, I mean, just shit can go down. Shit can go down. So it absolutely wouldn't shock me if, I mean, I'm sure he just like, man, you get the fuck out of here. But he probably helped that guy, if not saved that guy's life, saved him for some heavy hospital bills. Because I think he'd have got fucked up going to that stadium. It wouldn't shock me if there's guys in that country, you know what I mean, looking for the Westoids, so to speak, to cause a problem with along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just so sick of, like I said, this Western culture is pushed worldwide, and there's individuals who don't necessarily take kindly to it and are just sick of all of this shit getting pushed upon them and all their customs and shit being thrown out the window. So trust me, there's going to be some people looking to push back. Just individuals, you know what I'm saying? Just like, all right, man, I have to get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Speaking of cyclical nature of civilizations, Have you read? Look at you guys. Look how intelligent. I don't know who Oswald Sperlinger is. He sounds intelligent. And yep, it's in fucking Qatar. Matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration. We are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There's no death. Life is only a dream. We're an imagination of ourselves. I've heard stuff like that. I don't necessarily believe all of that. Let me get rid of these fuckers. And I missed them both. Motherfucker. Okay. I don't necessarily believe we're all one consciousness. And I get, people who've had ayahuasca experience speak to something along these lines. I believe that we all have some connection. But I don't believe, like, I do believe, but hey, I respect that. If that's your spiritual beliefs, truly, I respect them. And you know what? I think you're better off having some spiritual belief, even if I don't necessarily, it wouldn't be mine, than having none. You know what I'm saying? That's a much better statement of being than it's just all random chance and just nothing. I think that there's some hopelessness in that. If you believe that, you have some spiritual thought, you have something, you know what I mean? You think you're at least acknowledging on some level that life is something greater than what we think it is to be. And I think that'll ground you a lot more than just nothing. So again, it's not my thing, but hey, I respect it. And I think it's a lot healthier of a belief system than nothing. And obviously matter is it, the matter part is true. No stranger to football violence. Qatar doesn't need bad press. They just deport the dude. Yeah, that's the simplest thing. But I mean, I'm not talking about, somebody causing an issue is just somebody on their own. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Qatar, like I said, they probably much rather him just, like you said, just deport him, just get him the fuck out of there. I truly believe the security guard did him a solid, man, because he would have got fucked up. Maybe he wouldn't have, but I think the smoother thing to do is what they did. Is all right, just get out of here, kick him out of the stadium, because if he gets in that stadium, like you said, they don't need the press. They don't need a rogue motherfucker who's just like, I'm sick of these Westoids. I'm hauling off on dude. I'm gonna fire on this dude because I'm sick of these Westoids and their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's the last thing they need. So it's like, it's even if that wasn't the grounds of which they were thinking, I'm sure that was the best thing. Oh, that's the Bill Hicks jokes on the young man on acid. I see. But no, people have said that shit though. So I asked the Bill Hicks joke. I see. I definitely believe we're all one conscience. Our brains are receptive to plug it. Maybe. Hell, we don't know. We find out when we die. Or maybe we don't. Maybe we still don't know. We just die and that's it. Or maybe you live on as a spirit, not knowing what the fuck is going on. I don't know. But see, that's the thing. I don't believe in like reincarnation and shit like that. And I know that, some people who believe in the Bible do believe in it. Some people don't. I've seen scriptural arguments for and against reincarnation. I've seen them both. So I don't even think you can say that the Bible. I mean, some people, like I said, people will make the argument, the Bible says that there's definitely no reincarnation. Some people argue, oh no, the Bible says this. Definitely is it Elijah and somebody is supposedly the same spirit. There's a lot of different theories, so I'm not even gonna go back. I don't believe we just keep getting a bunch of runs. You know what I'm saying? We just get infinite runs. Maybe we do. Acid reflux. Maybe we get infinite runs, but it just seems like, okay, if there's infinite runs and there's nothing, there's no consequence to nothing, and it's just. You know what I mean? It just makes it all, it seems meaningless if that's the case. But then shit, in certain against my reincarnation theory, there's been people. Or maybe that shit was fake. I don't know. There was some story about some kid who claimed to be somebody else who was dead, and he had all these details. Maybe that was a fake story. It's the internet. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm just a guy. I'm just a chubby dude who smokes weed and talks shit on the internet. If you think I'm supposed to have all the answers for everything there is in life, or that any one motherfucker that you'll see on the internet has all the answers for everything in life, I got a bridge in Brooklyn for sale, and one in London, and one in San Francisco. I can give you, it's Black Friday. I can give you a good price. I'm going to talk to my Nigerian Prince fan, and we'll get the paperwork settled up for you. If that's cool. If that's cool. That was cool. You got all flattened. So are we, just a bunch of tars online shooting shit. That's all we are, man. That's all any content creator or anything is, man. And there's no shame in that, by the way. It's not. It's just, you know, I think I'm in a place where I'm just like, hey, you know, you gotta, life still has a lot of important things and stuff, but like priorities, right? Yeah, I'm trying to have some sort of priorities. Not perfect. I'm actually trying to prioritize music. This is something to do because I want to. Still something I want to do. There's still so many ways to not make a living, at least make a side hustle out of it. Especially, apparently, the new thing is this. You know how they have all. If you've ever done content creation, I'm sure you hear about all these royalty-free music sites that you can sign up with a small fee. It's a small monthly fee. And you sign up and you get a bunch of royalty-free music. Well, apparently, oh shit, I need that bad. Apparently, a lot of individuals are making some good money off of licensing their music to those places. So that's a huge income source, modern way of making money that's popped up in the music industry over the past several years. I mean, there's always been licensing and stuff like that. Apparently, they're pretty accepting in music. So we're okay. And it's just, licensing music again is a big thing. It's for commercials, for TV shows, and stuff like that. So I want to get into that, which won't be as VigilanteWilliamson. Like I have to generate a lot more music per month to make any musical aspirations on any level, whether it's a music channel or, that's why I haven't had too many music shorts. I wanted to do more beat making stuff, and I haven't. So that's going to be something I have to figure it out. But yeah, I got to get back in the habit of making music. So that's been a kind of a thing over this 4-day weekend, and then in a few weeks I have a whole week off. That's going to be a thing at this end of the year. Just getting back in the habit of music, getting the habit of things. Yeah, independent artists have a successful stream. I didn't even bring up the loop thing. You know what I'm saying? Which it seems like, man, so I can do something with all my half-finished beats. I can sell them to producers. You know me, half-finished beats. I haven't. I probably have enough stuff. If I can, I know I got a lot of my old hard drive already put up here, but shit, so I can just sell my half-finished beats to other producers, and they'll finish the beats and then sell the beats. Oh, sign me up. You know what I'm saying? Sign me up. Or shit where I did the drum. Damn, that shit sounded. You know how many times that happens? You make a beat and you're like, oh, that shit sounded cool, but I fucked it up here and I can't really. Man, just sell motherfuckers loops. And then drum samples, you know how many different guitar pedals and shit I got, and different drum machines I got, and different drum samples I got, and just processing. Like that's why I don't really buy sample packs like that. I mean, if I need something, it will probably be acoustic sound and stuff. But like as far as I got all the '80s drum samples. I could do drum packs all day long. You know what I'm saying? All day long. Synthwave drum packs, lo-fi drum packs. I can do this shit. I can do this shit all day. So all these different revenue streams that's now popping. It's like, oh, that wasn't. You couldn't do that in 2008, 9, and 10. You know what I'm saying? Or you could, not as a loser. You know what I mean? Not as a nobody, not starting from scratch, you couldn't do that. Or there were a few people that would do it, but that wasn't the wave. But now that's the way. Oh man, you know what I mean? I gotta get in the habit. You still gotta be a musician, even to do the drums. You gotta be in. It happens best. You're gonna come up with the best sounds when you're trying to compose something. You know what I mean? Shit, plus I got some little onboard gear too. I got a little preamp, I got a couple preamps, and want to invest in more. What's this, man? I got this Golf. It's not an LA3A. It's a fake LA3A compressor. My golden age. So yeah, the VW console. Oh no, the controller can be shaped like your mask. If we ever get that popular, gotta endure the clown world, man. It's a clown world. Come out with your own game console. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and not do that. I don't see, consoles are gonna fucking die soon anyway. Remember the Soulja Boy console, but consoles are gonna die soon anyway, man. I mean, I don't know if they'll ever die. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But part of me says consoles have a lifespan, but then part of me says, well, there's still a lot of people who just prefer using a console to game. You know what I mean? And it's not like PC gaming is not an expense. And there's a lot of people who do both. You know what I'm saying? So they can have the console exclusives or the timed exclusives on console, and then everything else on PC. So I mean, I don't know, but just realistically, shit, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo are gonna have trouble with consoles in the next 10 years. So man, all of entertainment is changing, man. We're in that in the next 10 years, we're either gonna have some advanced shit or we're gonna be cavemen. It's gonna be the Dark Ages again. Yeah, there's no in between. It's either gonna be the Jetsons or the Flintstones. So yeah, can't play games with a mouse and keyboard. No, I'm using a controller. That's the thing. You just use it. I'm using the PS4 controller right now to play this. Now, obviously, you guys have heard my technical issues, so everything does not always run smooth. So I'm not gonna kid you. Then I have, for a lot of retro games, I have different emulator USBs, different game pads, but I've had issues with literally all of them. So I'm not gonna act like controllers are always smooth. Sometimes you just, you have Windows. You know how Windows is. Shit. And that's a huge that's another thing that keeps consoles in business, man. People just don't want to deal with a lot of the bullshit of a Windows system or whatnot. And you're right too, man. I can't remember the last time I didn't have technical issues of some sort. Granted, I'm streaming and shit, but even still, a lot of times I'll have technical issues. It's not the stream, it's the game. That's what just happened with a little bit ago. Old dogs and new tricks, yeah. Don't worry, guys. He's the hero. He's attaching a plug in your brain. See, that's the shit I don't trust, man. And I believe everything I'm about to say is public knowledge. But he's apparently working on a fucking robot, and he's the guy talking about how AI is dangerous. Yet he's also trying to be fucking Miles Dyson and work on a Terminator. Fuck out of here, bruh. Fuck out of here. Save us, Elon. Yeah. No, I'm thinking of the rest of the shit to save us Jericho shit. Yep, the actual that fucking Neuralink. Get the fuck out of here, brother. Nah, bro. I'm not fucking with no Neuralink. Fuck out of here. Oh, what if something brain neurological happens so you could have a massive brain injury or stroke? Neuralink is nah. Fuck that. I'm not about to have you know, and you know what? There's going to be a generation that has no problem cyberpunking it. Straight up. There's going to be a generation, maybe Generation Alpha, maybe that's why they're named, or Generation Beta, which will, you know, be the one after them. But they're going to cyberpunk it, and they're not going to see no problems with it. They're going to put, you know what I mean? Have brain shit, have all sorts of mods to their body, all sorts of technocratic mods and shit. Cyberpunk is their that's the future they're trying to create, man. Oh shit. Does it really matter if the transhumanist, that's the word I was looking for, is the transhumanist is pro free speech? Well, nobody on this earth is perfect. And you know, I just did a show why you shouldn't worship them. I should have brought up the transhumanist shit as a part of the evidence. But I will say this: you don't have to let him be a transhumanist psychopath. That's why you don't worship him. That's why we don't hero worship here on the Vigilante Williamson channel. We don't want this guy. Okay, Twitter, what he's done with Twitter is commendable. We'll commend him for that. But what we're not going to do is just buy into anything he does going forward regardless. Okay, you did this. This was smooth. That's cool. But, you know, you don't get to fucking create some crazy tech link where you get to plug into our brains, Elon. No, that's not what you get in return. You get you may get my attention on Twitter. You may get me using the product where I wouldn't have otherwise. That's what you get. You don't get me just, worshiping you and just buying every single thing that you sell. No, that's not how that works. So, yeah, you're absolutely right to be critical of this guy with his transhumanist bullshit and a lot of the shit he's got cooking. You definitely should be worrying. Even the space shit. Or is that what are you putting in these satellites, Elon? Or do we have some sort of monitoring equipment going up to space? He's been good for Twitter, but that's as far. Yeah, exactly how far as you should go. Shouldn't go in a step further. What, you don't want to be downloading the cloud, live as binary code in cyberspace? Just scary that sounds. To just be a program in existence in the World Wide Web for the rest of your existence infinitely. You know what I'm saying? That sounds scary as shit. How about we don't do that? How about we don't? The fuck? Like, I would never want to be. Would you want to be programmed? Would you want to be programmed the internet for the rest of time? Fuck out of here. That sounds frightening as shit. Just a file in the cloud for the rest of time? Fuck that. Sounds like a fucking techno horror nightmare. Jesus. So yeah, that shit, that Neuralink shit, he can kick rocks with. Even what SpaceX shit, I don't know what the fuck you launching in the space, motherfucker. Talking about you trying to go to Mars, or you helping the three-letter boys sling some satellites so they can monitor us, or that, which is more plausible and likely. Fuck out of here. And I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm purporting shit. I don't know. Allegedly, everything I say is alleged. I'm not trying to catch a suit. I don't know this shit from Adam, man. Yeah, that seemed way scarier. To just, death is scary. There's some fear, but to live forever like that, or any state of immortality, that seems frightening. It would be interesting to like have an extended life. You know, in theory, someone like Wolverine, he has a healing factor, so it slows the aging process down, but he'll eventually die from old age. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to live 500 years, that's a long time. But, you know, live 200-300 years, 400 years and have a slow aging process, that might be cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's gotta go. It's gotta end. You know what I'm saying? The idea that I'm supposed to exist permanently, you know, life would get meaningless at a certain point, right? Thousands of years? The fuck? It's like, no wonder Vandal Savage becomes a fucking megalomaniacal sociopath in the DC universe. It's like, well, shit, he's been around forever. What if you live forever? The fuck else you gonna do besides try to rule the world? What else can you do? Oh, this is a huge waste. Let's see. It sounds insane to be a rational being, but we're living in irrational times. Yeah. The problem is now we're free to drop the spiciest memes. But everyone who was supposed to be offended by it are now gone. LOL. They'll be back. They're not gone. I saw what was apparently a fake tweet, but if so, I thought it was real. Elon talking about all the people complaining, but they can't get away from the drama or something like that. But apparently the tweet was fake. But it seemed real because it seemed plausible. It seemed plausible, believable. You know what I mean? A lot of those people are going to be back. No problem. A lot of these people who complain about Twitter, they're too addicted. They're not going nowhere, man. Some people will leave. You know, some people are genuine. But they can't. There's too much here for them that they already like. There's too many leftist tweeters and Twitter accounts that they're going to keep following. And Twitter is, that's their way of life. You don't just, you know, that's not how it works. We just talked about how these people have, and how a lot of this political discourse has taken on a religious tint. Well, you're not going to tell somebody who's gone to a church that they're not going to go to the same church, even if they don't like the pastor. And the new pastor they don't like as much. If they've been going to that church 30 years, they're still going to go to that church. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe some people may not like the new pastor, and they're going to go to a different church, or a different pastor that they like comes up with starts a church and they go to that church. But more than likely, they've been going to that same church. Even if they don't like the new pastor, they're going to keep going to that church. And a lot of people's church has been Twitter for the past 10 years. And they're going to keep going to that church. Regardless of what the pastor, rather they like the pastor, they'll go to that church just to complain about the pastor. And I'm using that allegorically speaking for Elon Musk relative to Twitter. But I'm being serious when I say that there's people who view Twitter at a near religious, you know what I mean, Twitter, and same with Reddit and some of these other platforms, Tumblr. They have a little near religious zeitgeist. You know, I don't know if zeitgeist is the right word, but a religious fever, or whatever the right word is. I'm just being the fucking living color guy. But no, they just have a religious way about how their beliefs are, and they view Twitter as the place where, you know, service is held. So they're not going nowhere. And they never were. They need that hit. They need that dopamine, bro. Maybe, you know, maybe religion is the wrong word. Maybe I should be thinking of them as a dope dealer. They still need that hit. You know what I mean? If TikTok could give them that hit, they'd be on TikTok. And some of them are on TikTok, but they need that. They need that. You know, it's like somebody who's on a bunch of different dope. They need. Sometimes they feel like heroin. Sometimes they feel like coke. Sometimes they just need weed. But they need all their drugs, man. Twitter was fun when you knew you were actually making someone cry. I was never an own the leftist guy, so I still don't. Twitter's just something I scroll. Twitter's just something I scroll. Hell, Mr. Grant Gregory, appreciate you being here. I want an edit button. That's asking for a lot. Yeah, I would love an edit button. Nobody gets my notifications though, Mr. Grant Gregory. No one does. People will say, "Oh man, where you've been? Like, operating a channel for 2 years? The fuck you mean where you've been?" So yeah, so no one gets my notifications ever. Oh yeah, what happened with the hacking? I remember hearing something about that. Yeah, you had a lot of stuff going on. What's going on with you, Mr. Grant Gregory? Glad you're finally back. Yeah. Oh man, you know, where have you been? On my fucking channel. Really? Yeah, no one gets notifications. I mean, that ship sailed so long ago about me and notifications. Only people who show up are the you crazies who still for some reason rock me, which I appreciate. All jokes aside, I appreciate all the guys who just, despite my lack of notifications, somehow figure out that I'm streaming and somehow show up. The guys are awesome. Oh, jeez. It is another white woman holding a brother down. Like I've said about white feminism. Feminism's been mad at the black man since Gloria Steinem got pumped and dumped by Jim Brown. It's a joke. It's also true. Oh shit, I ran right into that. Sister Mary Six Gun gets notifications. Does the regular account though get notifications? Yeah, YouTube does punish channels that speak as freely as we are. That's why I've thought about migrating to a new channel. Like I said, I'm gonna do a music channel at one point. But I've thought, like, man, maybe I thought of that even recently. I'm like, oh, I should just migrate and just start over. And maybe if I was in a better habit of releasing clips, because I almost feel like there's no point. I do have a second channel that I don't use, but I thought about even coming up with a new channel just to make sure the IP address, and I just got renewed for my fucking what the fuck is it? VPN, but just switching the IP address. But you know what? I might have some trouble. So before, I didn't have a community strike, so anything I've done would have been done, you know, to use a channel wouldn't have had anything connected to it, because while I'm being shadow banned, I've had no formal, you know, issues. But since they gave me that after the fact community strike, I don't know if that'll affect me creating a new channel, because there's all sorts of rules. And I can only hope that they don't, you know, like I said, when I got the first community strike, I mean, are they going to go through all my stuff and just after the fact label me, you know what I mean, radical? I believe the community strike was because of the twerking politician. That's what I think got me the strike, but I don't really know. They didn't give me an answer. And technically, we're already on Rumble and Odyssey, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But I believe that I already mirrored my account. You know, after the game, we'll check. We'll check to see if I still have a Rumble and if I mirrored it. I'm actually gonna go into the settings and whatnot. I don't know how long. Yeah, the community strike was bullshit, especially because it was after the fact. It wasn't as it was 3 to 6 months after the fact. Like, what the fuck? And I'm worried they might go back to the channel and just find things that are no longer community friendly and use them. And then, of course, they don't tell you why it's community strike. So no, just the phone. So only the phone. So yeah, that's weird. So yeah, there's definitely something up with my channel. It has been for a while. It's been discouraging at times, and on some level, it's been my fault. I haven't done a good enough. I know shorts are hacking the algorithm, right? I even have shorts of me just messing around with equipment that got hundreds of views, and that's more than I usually get. I also know TikTok's a big thing, and I'm not using that. So that's why I don't really want to go as hard as I was with the criticism and oh, they're pushing me down and they're shadow banning me, even though I know that they are, but I just know I'm not doing my part to help my case. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when I talk about some of the Republican stuff. It's like, yeah, you know what? There probably is something going on with these with this selection stuff. We'll say there probably is some fishy stuff going on. I don't disagree, but you got to help your case better. You just do, and you got to help your case for normies. So in the same vein, yeah, I'm probably being shadow banned, but I got to do better at doing the things that help overcome that and combat that. So it's just the reality. And you know, this is probably going to be the last level, guys. And then we'll check on Rumble and get out of here. I'm getting tired. We've already gone. Is it a couple hours? I can't see the timing. Oh, you got a strike for showing a pic of someone holding a sign says "Allah." Ooh, 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 ooh. That's that. There's a lot of smoke behind that. Well, at least I mean, I'm not saying that you should have got a strike, because I'm a free speech guy, and I think these strikes are bullshit. And I'm sure it wouldn't. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm sure, but it wouldn't shock me if the original video had you see some of this shit and you don't doesn't get taken down from YouTube. You say you. I need a fresh new channel without you guys in the chat. You're scaring normies away. No, I'm sure I scared normies away. I've been told the mask scares normies away and all this other stuff. So that's, you know, even though I see there's a lot of masked content creators out there. Shout out to Mono Neon and other individuals in different spaces who are also masked. Sick of all this masked oppression. Must my people be oppressed? Everyone else has their pronouns and their life choices respected, but the masked community, and I'm tired of it. Yeah, that is pretty spicy work. I'm like, sheesh. This boss is still frustrating even on an easy level. You whore. Stand still and take your whooping, you whore. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Finally.
Turtles? No. Batter up, Scuzz Bucket.
All right. I'm going to let this ride out, and then we're going to go to another. We're actually going to end the stream. We've gone close to 2 hours. I am having bad back issues. But this has been fun. This is A casual really was just a game stream, just gaming, talking. Guys, up to 10 people showing up, so that's always cool. Beach channels getting nuked for nip slips. I've done that more than once. Hey, like I said, my stream, I think some politician butt cheek got me in some issues. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me, we're not quite done because we mentioned Rumble. I'm going to exit this and I'm going to check to see if I know I have a Rumble. I believe I had it. If they had the option to mirror, I used it, but I don't know. So we're about to check. We're about to check. I'm not, obviously the screen is not going to show it in case there's some sensitive information as far as signing in. Let's see. There is sensitive information signing in. See, audio syndication. Oh, there is no link. Let me see. Let me see. So, okay. Syndication. How do I see? Did I have videos? Maybe I wasn't linked up. My content. Yeah, I only have a few videos uploaded. So, okay. So, it looks like I did auto syndication. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. Oh, so you can set up live streams? I wonder if there's a way for me to use Rumble. I'm on the back end of Rumble. I don't have the screen on it, and I'm just kind of reviewing Rumble as I do stuff. And yeah, Rumble supposedly mirrors. I thought they were mirroring this whole time. Doesn't look like they are. YouTube channel sync. Here we go. There are no link channels. Okay. There's no links. So let's get this fixed. Let's get this fixed right now. I thought I was linked the whole time. Now I am. Link channels. Starting from I'm just gonna say October 1st. No channel posted user. What? Is it? I don't get. See, this is complicated. I don't get what this means. No channel posted user. It's the only option I have. So fuck it. I'm just gonna use it. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'll find out, I guess. So I think I just connected my channel. I'm not sure it's going to go back. I went since October 1st, so it doesn't have to go back 2 years. So I'm not sure if it's going to go back and sync all the old videos from October 1st on. And it shows no channel post as user. I wanted to post a Rumble channel. So I don't know how this works. That's Jesus. So as much talk as there is, and it has all my old details I gotta change. As much talk as there is about these other platforms, man, they gotta simplify things, man. So, okay, if I go to my content, doesn't show anything new. It just shows the old stuff I posted on the different stuff than when I first tried. So I don't know what this Rumble stuff, man. Thanks, Vidge. Been listening to editing. I said, Zax, gotta do some more editing. They going nuclear. At least it'd be for something going nuclear. Suspension dildo. Pop Cotton says, right. Says, indeed, leaking up. I don't show uggos. It's always going nuclear. Check out my video, best endings on YouTube. Mine's been mirroring. Just no subs over there. They make things difficult. Yeah, it's just not simple. Well, I think I have it linked up. I don't know. I don't know. Just like I keep hearing Andrew Tate has a show on Rumble, but whenever I go on his Rumble, it just shows stuff him on other podcasts that already exist. So it's just like, okay, does he have a show or doesn't he? Who knows? Who knows? But all right, guys, this has been a real fun stream. We talked about a lot of stuff, played some games, had some fun, had some laughs, laughed, cried, all that good stuff. But if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. Have a happy holiday, even if it's probably pagan. Still, have a good day, good evening, good night, whatever time it is where you are. Peace. I'll see you guys later.